Welcome to Martinsville Speedway, host of the STP 500, the third race in the NASCAR Hot Wheels Cup Series season. 16 cars are ready to battle it out and see who can get the grandfather clock. Let's go ahead and take a look at our cars to watch today. We've got 3 cars and a sleeper pick that you want to keep your eye on. The first car we're going to watch is the number 2 of Brad Keselowski. He's your pole sitter, was super fast in practice, and is looking to continue on with that speed here today. Next up is Joey Logano. He was runner-up at Daytona, and he won Atlanta. He showed great speed in practice, qualifying 3rd. Then we have the 48 of Jimmie Johnson. He qualified 5th and had a good week last week at Atlanta. He certainly seems poised for a victory. And our sleeper pick is Martin Truex Jr. He qualified towards the back of the pack. However, he was fast last week at Atlanta and looks to improve on that result. Only 2 cars can compete on this smaller version of Martinsville Speedway, so cars will face off based on qualifying. The car that qualifies first faces the car that qualifies 16th, etc. Let's get ready for Stage 1. Our first matchup here features Brad Keselowski. First, Kyle Busch. This is our first lap track of the year. It's a 2-lap race. Whoever finishes first wins it. We're off. Kyle Busch and Keselowski are neck and neck, and Keselowski goes for a spin here in the first race. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch takes home the win and will advance to Stage 2. You can see here things not starting off well for Team Penske. The 2-car gets super loose coming out of turn 2, as you can see there. And then he runs into the wall, spins out. Busch makes contact but manages to finish the race. So your pole sitter is out in Stage 1 for the first time this year. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch is on to Stage 2 for the second time this year. So Kyle Busch is headed to Stage 2. Who will join him? Qualifying second was the 3 of Austin Dillon. Qualifying 15th was the 21 of Ryan Blaney. Remember, it's a 2-lap race. We're off. It's Blaney with the early lead, and he'll hold on to it to defeat Austin Dillon. Ryan Blaney will head to Stage 2 for the second time this year as well. Now we got Joey Logano, last week's winner at Atlanta. He qualified 3rd versus Martin Truex, who qualified 14th. We're off. Logano gets the early jump. They're neck and neck after lap 1, but Logano gets a great drive off turn 4 to win his matchup. And for the 3rd time this year, Joey Logano is headed to Stage 2. Now we have the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He qualified 4th versus the 20 of Matt Kenseth, qualifying 13th. We're off. Kenseth with the early lead on Harvick, but Harvick comes back as Matt Kenseth runs out of gas. Very unfortunate there for Matt Kenseth. You can see a little loose on the first lap here, but still had a great drive off that last turn here to beat Harvick on lap 4, or lap 1, I should say. However, right here, he gets super loose coming off turn 2. That doesn't help him much, and then just runs out of gas. So a big miscue for the 20 team right there, not getting their car completely topped off on fuel. And that allows Kevin Harvick to take the easy win as he advances to Stage 2 for the second straight week. Now, qualifying 5th, we had the 48 of Jimmie Johnson. Qualifying 12th was the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Johnson versus Hamlin. We're off. Hamlin with the early lead. Johnson trying to come back, and he gets loose, goes off the track, and makes hard contact there. You can see here, Hamlin easily winning that first lap. So Johnson needs a big lap here to come back from that. And unfortunately, looks like he just overdrove the corner there. Got a little loose, and that caused him to go spinning and for a flip. Denny Hamlin is headed to Stage 2 for the first time this year. Now we have the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse. He qualified 6th versus Kurt Busch in the 41. Stenhouse leads lap 1, and he moves to the high lane there to win lap 2. What a move from Ricky Stenhouse. He has the lead on Kurt Busch here. He knows Kurt Busch has to run that high lane, and looks like they made the call to move up and block off that high lane just in case Kurt Busch got a good drive off here and was able to pass him. So a nice block from Ricky Stenhouse, and you can see it paid off. Kurt Busch was actually rallying behind him, so the block pays off for Ricky Stenhouse as he heads to Stage 2 for the second time this year. We now have the 24 of Chase Elliott running that Mountain Dew scheme. He qualified 7th versus Dale Earnhardt, who qualified 10th. Elliott gets the early jump on the restart, but Earnhardt comes back and will win it as Chase Elliott has a problem with the car. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Why I didn't finish that course. Looks like here he gets super loose, starts to drift up into the high lane, and you can see actually makes contact with his teammate in the 88. Looks like that probably caused a fender rub, and he lost a tire and was unable to finish the course. Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt wins the race easily and is headed to stage 2. So fan favorite Dale Earnhardt having a good day here at Martinsville so far. Qualifying 8th was the 42 of Kyle Larson. Qualifying 9th was the teammate of Kasey Kahne. Kane's teammate just advanced in the 88. Kahne has the early jump on Larson. Larson tries to come back but can't quite make it. Kasey Kahne is headed to stage 2 for what I believe is the first time this year. Larson got the early jump on the restart there, as you can see, but Kahne gets a great drive off turn 4 to pass Larson. But then right here, Larson gets a good drive off turn 2 and starts to come in on Kahne, who got a little loose, little wobble there. And then another great drive off turn 4 for Kyle Larson. However, it just wasn't enough to catch up to the 5 car of Kasey Kahne. So, Kasey Kahne is the last car to make it to stage 2. We now head to stage 2. 8 cars are getting ready to compete to see who can make it to stage 3. Our first race features Kasey Kahne, who just won a little bit earlier, versus Kyle Busch, who qualified 16th, but despite all odds, beat pole sitter Brad Keselowski and advanced, and right here dominates the first lap versus Kasey Kahne. Then Kasey Kahne on lap 2 spins out. Kyle Busch gets the easy win. It was no contest, really. You can see here absolutely dominating the 5 car on that first lap. Had almost a whole front stretch lead here through only 1 lap, and then Kasey Kahne got loose, made contact with the wall, and goes for a spin. Kyle Busch is headed to stage 3 for the second time this year. Now we have Dale Earnhardt Jr. qualifying 10th versus neighbor Ryan Blaney, who qualified 15th. Jr. has the inside lane. It's been the fastest way around this track all season, but he spins out just like his teammate Kasey Kahne did a bit earlier. You can see here neck and neck after lap 1. Blaney with the slight lead. Jr. was a little over-aggressive here, causes the car to get a little loose coming out of the turn. He makes contact with the wall and spins out. Blaney takes the easy victory and cruises in. He's headed to stage 3 for the first time this year. Now we have Joey Logano, who's been one of the best cars all season. He qualified 3rd versus Ricky Stenhouse, who was having a good day. He qualified 6th and has now made it to stage 2. Logano on the inside lane here, neck and neck after lap 1, but Logano will take the lead back from Stenhouse to win the race. You can see here coming off lap 1, Stenhouse just got a little bit of a run there on Joey coming out of turn 4, but Joey gets a great drive off of turn 2 here to take the lead back from Stenhouse, and then he's just able to hold on and take the win. He's headed to stage 3 for the 3rd time this year. He's the only car to make it to stage 3 in every single race so far. He's searching for his 2nd victory, and it would be back-to-back if he were to win here today. Kevin Harvick qualified 4th. He'll be on the inside lane versus Denny Hamlin, who's had a poor week so far, but he can certainly put all that to shame by heading to stage 3. Hamlin has the early lead on lap 1, and Harvick goes for a spin high up in turn 3 and 4. You can see here Hamlin putting the pressure on Harvick, dominates lap 1. Harvick needs a great lap 2 to beat Denny Hamlin. And you can see here he's just way too aggressive, gets super loose, makes slight contact with the wall, and then just overdrives it into that last turn and wrecks. So Harvick is out. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin is headed to stage 3 for the first time this season. Now we head to stage 3 to crown a victor. Our first matchup of stage 3 features Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. Denny Hamlin will be on the inside lane, Kyle Busch on the outside lane. Let's see who wins it. It's neck and neck through lap 1. Hamlin takes the lead now, but Kyle Busch brings it back at the end of lap 2 to win the race and is headed to his 2nd stage 3 final of the year. You can see here it was a really good race all the way through. Kyle Busch, one of the best restarters in NASCAR, gets the early jump here and is able to take the lead early from Denny Hamlin, but Denny Hamlin gets a good drive off turn 2, or turn 4, I should say, and they're able to bring it neck and neck through lap 1. On lap 2, Denny Hamlin gets the early jump. Great run here, but Kyle Busch, absolutely fantastic on the high lane here through turns 3 and 4, gets a big runoff for and brings it back and beats Denny Hamlin, one of the best races we've seen today. Kyle Busch is headed to the Stage 3 final, as I mentioned earlier. Who will meet him there? Will it be the 22 Logano? He's competed in 2 straight finals. He's looking for third. Or his associate in Ryan Blaney. Logano on the inside lane. He loses lap 1, but a fantastic comeback on lap 2 to defeat Ryan Blaney. Look at this. Logano on the inside lane. Gets the early jump on Blaney, but gets loose, makes slight contact with the wall. Ryan Blaney is able to go right around the outside of him, dominating lap 1. Looks like he wins lap 1 by 2 car lengths. Gets a great launch off turn 2. Is dominating Joey Logano, but Joey Logano, look at the run he gets off turn 2, and then look at the run he gets off turn 4 to absolutely reverse the situation and dominate Blaney for the win. He's headed to his 3rd straight race final this year. He's looking for his 2nd straight win. He won last week at Atlanta. He was runner-up at Daytona to who other than Kyle Busch, who he will be racing for the win here at Martinsville. Will it be the M&Ms or the Pennzoil car? 18 versus 22, 22 on the inside lane, 18 on the outside lane. It's neck and neck through lap 1. Joey moves high to block Kyle Busch on lap 2 and win the race. Joey Logano wins at Martinsville. It's back-to-back wins for the 22 car. You can see here, Logano and Busch, both the 2 of the best restarters in NASCAR. Logano got the early jump, but Kyle Busch brings it back here on lap 1 and leads lap 1 just over Joey Logano. But Joey Logano would not be outdone. Gets a great drive off turn 2 and then moves into the high lane to block Kyle Busch and seal the deal and win at Martinsville to make it back-to-back. He won last week at Atlanta. He wins this week at Martinsville. That 22 team has been fantastic all season long. They're the team to beat. Their finishes go like this. He was 2nd at Daytona, of course, 1st at Atlanta, and 1st at Martinsville. Here's a look at today's results. Martin Truex falls all the way to 16th. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney put together nice days, finishing 3rd and 4th respectively. Here's a look at the regular season point standings. The drivers in yellow have already won and are into the chase. Meanwhile, the other 10 spots remain up for grabs. The top 12 will make the chase. Harvick, Blaney, and Johnson ran out the top 5 behind Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, who leads with 57 points. Kurt Busch and Chase Elliott would just make the chase if the season ends today. They hold the tiebreaker over Kane, Truex, Larson, and Earnhardt Jr., which is best finishing position. The playoff point standings look like this. Joey Logano leads with 13. Kyle Busch has 8. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick is the only driver with multiple points that's not Joey Logano or Kyle Busch with 4. Of course, wins once again dominated by Joey Logano, who has 2. Kyle Busch, the only other winner, with 1. That's all today. Thank you for watching this Martinsville race. Joey Logano is your winner for the 2nd straight week in a row, and we will see you next week at Texas Motor Speedway. That's all for now.